What's going on, everybody? Got a pretty quick tutorial for you here. There's just going to be a couple things we talk about in the beginning. What we're going to do is we're going to make an LED fan mod for the Xbox 360 Slim. This can be done with a regular stock fan. So the fan that's in your console already will work just fine. Um, you can also do the same thing with the E. The only difference is the 360E. The fan is just a tiny bit different. The fan itself is the same, but really it's the cable and stuff for the DVD drive, which we do use as well. But it still applies, and it's still the same wiring and logic and all that stuff. So you can do this with either. I'm just going to be referencing for the Slim because that's what most people want to do is use the Slim. Um, Real quick before we get started, um, this is going to also be something for those of you that watch a lot of the videos. I usually have all this in kit form. So what that means is everything in this tutorial, I sell a kit where it's all done for you. And that is going to be important too, especially when we talk about the LEDs, because I do use special LEDs for this particular kit. And we'll talk about that here in a minute. But yeah, if you check the link in the description of this video, you'll see I've got a link in there, and that goes directly to the website where you can find this kit and purchase it there. Anyways, the other thing, a quick tip before we get started, we're actually going to do it with your case. So your actual outer shell of the console has a metal shielding on it, and here's just an extra one I've got laying around. It looks kind of like this, but it's attached to the actual top case piece, and you can see this one's gross. That metal shielding is something you're going to want to completely pull out. Now, you don't have to. You can leave that metal shielding, but it's RF shielding, and the vast majority of you don't even need that in the first place. But what happens is that blocks a lot of the light from this. So if you pull that off, you're going to get a much better and cooler looking effect from the LEDs if you do. And again, it's not going to mess anything up at all. It's an RF shield, unless you have issues with RF signals where you live for some reason, which would be really rare. With that, we're going to get started with this tutorial. First, I'm going to show you some of the materials. Obviously, we've got our LEDs here, and I'm going to be using red. As I talked about a second ago, I use some special LEDs, okay? So if you get your LEDs from, say, eBay or Amazon, or even sometimes you can find like rolls of these at Walmart and stuff like that. That's totally fine. The issue is that those usually run at a much higher ohm capacity in general than the ones that I use. And that's important because we've only got so many ohms here. Especially if you're doing things like running a mod chip and stuff like that, believe it or not, that can actually affect the power pull as well and affect the power from where we're going to pull from. So if you get LEDs and you're doing this yourself, I would use a few less LEDs, and I'll talk about that when we attach them and stuff. But it's something to keep in mind. That also means that with those type of LEDs, you're only going to be attaching them like this. So as you can imagine, this backside is not going to have as many LEDs. In fact, actually, it's going to be probably more like this, so it covers about 2/3. So there's going to be some areas where the light is not as bright, and I think it is noticeable, and it's something you should be aware of. With these right here, the benefit to what I use is I use some that are a little bit lower ohms, meaning I can put more LEDs on them. So while a general limitation means I can't put it all the way, it is still going to be more like this on these, and so you don't have much of a gap on these. And that's just the way it is because I get commercial grade and I can get different specs on these. The LEDs themselves, we'll go ahead and go over the stats. These are 12 volt, so you want to make sure it's 12 volt. You want to make sure that it's 10 millimeters, and that's the width of these. 10 millimeters wide, and you want to get non-waterproof. Next thing we're going to do is these. A lot of people refer to these as vamp clamps and stuff like that. There's a couple different names for them, but these are going to be how we tap, and this is actually what we use to remove any need for soldering. And so with that, you have to understand that if you have some soldering skill, you can follow this tutorial as well. You're just not going to need these because what you're going to do is you're just going to directly solder the wires onto the motherboard. And if you can solder, you should solder it because doing that is going to be the best method. The next thing is we've got our actual LED connectors. Okay, you're only going to need one of them, but the problem is that you can only buy these in at least like quantities of 10 to 20 sometimes. These are just LED connectors for, again, 10 millimeter. Don't get the 8 millimeter. 10 millimeter, and they are also the type that's used for non-waterproof. Okay, there are some for waterproof. They look way different than this. So these are the ones you want to make sure you get. Then for tools, we will need a wire stripper. We're going to use a wire stripper for one part, and then I like to use these flush cutters. They're just really good for that. They're flush because on one side it's totally flat. But yeah, some sort of cutter. Okay, so what we're going to, oh, and of course, to attach the LEDs, a lot of the LEDs that you're going to get are going to have kind of a peel away thing where you can peel it off and stick it. Do not rely on this. Okay, these LEDs, the sticky stuff on this is total garbage, and it will fail on you quickly, and that's not good. So you can use any type of glue, but obviously hot glue is going to be your best bet, and that's what I'm going to be using too. And you see my old dirty glue gun here. So we will be using hot glue to attach everything. Now, if you're concerned too about heat and using hot glue, you have to remember that this is above the heat sink. I've already tested this quite a few times. The fan itself on the outside here does not get hot enough to melt that glue, so it's not something you're going to have to worry about. But if you're just really worried about, you can use other glue. It's just going to be a lot harder to get everything to stay in place because it takes longer to dry. So with that, we're going to get our LEDs. All right, now this is where it's going to be different. Most of these 10-volt come in sections that you can cut. It's usually a section, you can see there's right here. You'll see there's a connector and a line where you can cut it. And usually what it is it's in sections of 3. So with mine, I use 5 sections. But again, I get these special LEDs that are commercial LEDs so I can get different specs. If you're getting the ones like that you can just find anywhere on eBay, Amazon, stuff like that, you're only going to want to do 4 sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you would cut right here so that you've only got 4 sections. So in total, you've got 12 LEDs. But for mine, since my specs are a little lower, I use 5. Now, each LED is a little bit different. Sometimes they have little dots or something like that. You just still cut it down the middle so that there's contacts left on both sides. Okay. So now we got our LEDs. We're going to insert it into our LED extension cable connector. All you do is, this is just like a little clip. You just kind of like pop it off. And then, actually, we're going to flip it this way and open this one. You can see too it's red and black, so you can match up your positive and keep your positive and negative. If you accidentally get this all set up and realize that you reversed that, you can take it out, flip the whole strip of LEDs around, and put it the opposite way. But yeah, most of them have this little plus and minus symbol right here next to the contact points, these little kind of copperish. I don't think those are actually copper though. But what you do is you just take it and you slip it underneath the pins under here. And then it just connects in there. And then we close that up. And we got that part finished up. Now, before we actually start attaching this, we're going to go ahead and finish the whole thing because we want to test all this before we get it glued onto the fan. So what we're going to do is the other side that we didn't use of this, again, flush cutters work better here because of the way this is designed, so we can lose as little wire as possible. See, I cut them right up against it. And then we're going to spread that out a little bit. Now, we're going to take our wire strippers right here. This is one you don't necessarily have to do, but this is a limitation that you're going to get with these things, and this is why soldering is the better option. So this part where we strip these wires is just something extra I do, because what that does is it creates a little more surface area. So as you can see, I just strip the ends off of each one of these by about 1/2 inch. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to take that and you're just going to fold it backwards back onto itself like that. And have it just like that. Now, we're going to need our DVD drive cable. Okay, and you know, this is the slim one. I think the E one is the same, but it's been a while. Maybe they're a little different. I don't remember. But I think the slim one looks like this too. It's actually the two pink wires that we're going to be using. Those are actually the 12 volt and a negative or ground source, whatever you want to call it. And those are the wires that we're going to be tapping. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your cutters and cut this little piece of tape off. Just be careful. Make sure you don't have a wire cut, you know, in the cutter so you don't cut any of the wires. That way we can get this to where it's opened up and we can actually work with it. Now, this is going to be a little bit funky, right, because you got to make sure we're doing this right. So if you take your cable and you hold it like this, you can see that there are two empty slots on the one side, and then the other side is where the two pink ones are, right? So we've got our pink ones on this side. Or actually, I'm going to do it this because I realize I'm looking at it backwards from the camera. So pink wires are on this side, facing this way. The empty ones are on this side, right? So the 12 volt one is the one that's farthest this way when you're holding it like this. So we're going to grab that one out and we're going to put one of our connectors and just pop it on there. Okay, we're going to pop it over that slot. Now, when we connect these, you want to get this in the middle. Don't have it all the way up to either side because it's going to be too close and it's going to kind of mess up how it fits in there, especially underneath that hard drive. So you want it right in the middle just like that when you crimp this together. So this one's our 12 volts, so we're taking our red wire and we're sticking it in here. And then you're going to take a pair. Well, I done set my pliers somewhere else. Here we go. We're going to take it, and then there's this metal clip right here. What you do is just while making sure everything's in there good, you squish that all the way down so that it's flush and flat, and then you can close that. Then we're going to take your remaining pink wire, and we're going to do the exact same thing, just with the black ground wire. Okay, now that we've got that fully assembled, we want to test this before we start attaching it to the fan, because it's going to be real hard to make any adjustments to our LED kit if it's already glued to this thing. So what we're going to do is I've got a little tester console here. I'm going to bring it over. You can see both pink wires right here. They go on this side. We're just going to plug in that one end. Get our power cable plugged in. And we're just going to pop the console on real quick and make sure that our LEDs are running. And there we go. As you can see, these are running good. Now, all I want to do, just make sure you're not touching anything, you know, that's open. All I'm doing is touching this part right here. I'm just wiggling this a little bit and making sure the lights don't flicker or anything to make sure we don't have a loose connection. If the lights flicker and stuff, what's probably happened, and this is why we stripped the wires and bent the wire over, because what's probably happened is when you push those little pins through, it probably didn't make a very good connection. So what you're going to need to do, if it's the lights aren't on or they're flickering, you're going to want to open these back up and do it one more time. Make sure you strip the wire long enough and try it again, because you're not getting a good enough connection if they flicker. If they don't turn on at all, just double check your polarity again. Make sure that, you know, positive is with your positive wire. Make sure that your pink wires are like this and they're not reversed. And again, if they are, all you got to do is you can take the LED strip back out and then turn it, because then you could get opposite polarity. That way you don't have to redo all this stuff. Okay, so we've tested that and we know it works. So all we're going to do now is just get it attached to the fan, and that's pretty much it. Now, on the fan, you'll see it's got like this little area there from the wires. I always run mine through that underneath it. Now be careful, don't go ripping at these, because if you rip them too hard, you can rip them out of the fan motor housing. All I'm trying to do is I'm getting my first connector underneath the wires, and that gives me a good start point for getting these going. So now we're going to take our, and I just hit the camera, oops. I'm going to take our glue gun, and we're just going to start getting a few blobs on here. I usually pretty much put one every single break of LED section, the 3. So you just put a dot about like that. Just enough because you want it to come over the sides a little bit like this, but not too much. You just want it to come over the sides because it'll kind of go over, and then I'll hold it in. So then we're just going to rotate it and put another dot. Squish it in there good. Just be careful while you're rotating this too that you don't like put the hot glue that's not dry yet. If you need to wait, go ahead. Okay. Now, don't worry about the strings. There's going to be these little strings everywhere. That's fine. We're going to let it dry. And then after it dries, all these strings will just pop right off. And that's pretty much it. Once this is dry and everything, we've already tested the LED kit part. So all you're doing is you plug in the regular fan part, then you plug this in place of the, where the DVD drive is, and then you just screw it in and you're done. Again, make sure you check the description here because if you want the kit, you'll get it exactly like this, totally done. So all you'd have to do is just plop it on your heatsink, screw in the 2 screws, and plug in the 2 wires, and you're done. So yeah, definitely check that link out and pick that up if you need to. Otherwise, guys, that's pretty much it for this one. Pretty cool little mod tutorial to get a nice effect, especially if you've got a cool RGH or something. And it's relatively inexpensive. Like I said, even these kits are only $25 to $30, depending on your location. Even if you buy the parts. Now, if you buy the parts to make your own, it could cost you more than that because, like these connectors and stuff, sometimes you can only get them in quantities of 10 or 20. So yeah, if you do it that way, it's possible you could have to spend more. But even still, $30 for that for your RGH, make it look really cool. I think it's a pretty cool mod. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching. Make sure you give a thumbs up if you liked it and thought it was cool. And until next time.